So as you know, we were on a downtrend, right? And the reason why we were on a downtrend is because we left some liquidity behind on a daily time frame. That liquidity being this imbalance in this area and daily bullish OB. We came really close to that area last week, Monday. Well, the previous week's Monday, and then price was creating sell side liquidity. Eventually, we came down on Friday and took out all of these lows, but we failed to take out that low from that previous Monday. And we also failed yet again to take out the imbalance. So this still is an area of interest under my radar. Here's that imbalance. So someone did message me and ask me about the 3 confirmations. So the 3 confirmations for an entry. Number 1, you should always know the trend. What is the trend? Is price going up or down? Do your homework on the higher time frame and then squeeze down to the smaller time frame. When you're looking for your confirmations to enter the market, you want to make sure that you have a break of structure, right, in the direction of a trend, meaning if you're looking for price to go lower, you want to see a break to the downside. That's a closed body candle beneath the previous low. And then you want to see a retest back possibly into imbalance or supply, right? Those are your confirmations. The last confirmation is that if you're selling, you need to be in premium. If you're buying, you need to be in discount. So go ahead and practice those confirmations for your next entry, those who were confused on that. So back to this area, this is what has happened last week. Let's check out the actual opportunities. Of course, I'm going to use my session days of the week for that. And here we have a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Right? So let's go to the 1 hour time frame. Okay, here's the start of the week. So the week starts off as a continuation from last week. Why do I like using this particular indicator, session days of the week? Guys, when we talk about the high of the previous week, it's not just about marking your candles. Some of you are blindly just marking your candles, but not really understanding the value of the previous week's high and low and the previous day's high and low. Guys, these are targets. These are very important targets. If we're expecting price to go lower, guys, we want to see a buy side liquidity sweep. So when you guys are just marking the high on that higher time frame, go down to the smaller time frame, section off the previous week. Here we have this previous week. Look for the high and low of the previous week. Price is going to take out the high, or it's going to go for the low, or it's going to go for both, guys, and you guys need to be on top of that. So just to show you the high and the low of the previous week, what I'm going to do is make it red. And I'm going to show you how valuable it is to not just mark it out, but to pay attention to it. So, all right, guys, let's bring ourselves back to the previous week. Price came down to a 4-hour bullish OB, which is internal to the daily time frame. And it's still left behind imbalance on the daily time frame, and as well as a sell side liquidity, of course, and a bullish OB. So this is what we're focusing on, right? This is the previous week's low, and then let's go for the previous week's high. This is the high of the previous week. So as price is going higher, guys, in premium, we are looking down at a discount area to see what price has left behind. Right, so let's go over last week. Price came down to this area, a 4-hour bearish OB. At that point, price continued to go higher. So here's where it made some lows. Price created a bit of supply. Now, this is very interesting, guys, and I want to point this out. You have to understand when price is going higher or lower, right? Because if you're going to sell this down, you want to make sure that you're not selling long term. If you see that price is going higher, guys, you want to focus on the buy. The pullbacks is just entries for you. The price pulls back, you're expecting it to go higher. A swing high is then created, a swing low is then created. Let's pull out that fib. swing high, swing low. Price dips back down into a discounted area. Here's the area of interest. Why is this an area of interest? And this went over so many people's head. Why is this an area of interest? Guys, you need to pay attention to where the wicks are. Here's a wick. What this shows me is that when price dipped down into this area, it rejected and it went on to buy up, right? That lets me know something. If price comes back down into this area, it's going to sweep out this low, this wick that we have here. It's going to sweep out this low, right? But it's also probably going to respect this area and use it as demand. So price uses that area as demand, guys. Excuse me. And what we're expecting is for price to go higher. Price does, in fact, go higher, creating a new high. Once again, guys, we have a new area of interest. Why is this an area of interest? As price is going higher, you guys need to be going lower and looking for what was left behind. Here's that imbalance that was left behind. Price taps right into the imbalance and it taps right into this zone very perfectly. What are we targeting, guys? We are targeting this high without a doubt. We're looking for price to go and target this high. It does. And then it creates the high of the entire week. So now as we go into the new week, we have a high of the previous week and we have the low of the previous week. Price is going to go to the high of the week, the previous week, or the low of the previous week, or both. It'll probably take out the low and then target the high, or vice versa. It's very important not to only market on the higher time frame, but to truly understand, go to the smaller time frame and truly understand where that high and that low is. Truly understand it. Okay, so as we go into the new week, we have these areas. And just to reiterate, guys, we have the previous low of the week. It's even though price came into a 4-hour OB, we still have imbalance on the higher time frame. Price could have tapped into the daily OB, but it's very suspicious that it left behind a low, and therefore it has my attention. I figured that price would spend this new week getting back down to that particular area. And as we see, it has. But before we go down, guys, we want to see price go into a deeper area of premium, and we want to see it swipe out some buy-side liquidity. In this case, price was climbing down. It took out these lows here, took out all of the lows that we have over here to the left. These were previous entries. So if you were buying from here and holding and buying from here and holding, you would eventually be stopped out. So what happens after they stop out the buyers, right? After the buyers are stopped out, price goes up for the sellers, people who have sold at the ending of the previous week, and also the beginning of the next week as well. So Tuesday, price takes out sell side liquidity, and then it does a little switch, and it goes and takes out the sellers. Here are the sellers, here are the sellers, and here's the previous week's high. It taps into the previous week's high, guys, and then we start to go lower. Where were your entries for this previous week? Let's take a look at them. Okay, so price comes and it takes out the previous week's high. We go down deep onto the 1-minute time frame. Okay, so here's where we took out that previous week's high right there. Excuse me. So price comes up and it takes out the previous week's high, just like that. Then it does a buy side sweep, right? How do we know when it's time to get in, guys? We want to see a break of structure. Here's that break of structure. I'm looking at the body of the previous low. Here's the body of that previous low. And what I would like to see is that price comes back into this break of structure and to this area. We're looking at the candle that closed its body beneath this low. Which candle would that be? And I see that it's this candle. This is the candle that closed beneath the body's low. And therefore, guys, this is going to be my area of interest. So guys, your bearish areas and supplies, you want to mark them red just so that you understand, right? You want to be able to understand. You want to mark them red. Your bullish areas, you want to mark them green. Okay? Just so that you're sometimes it's best to color coordinate your chart so that you understand what's happening. Pay attention to your breaks of structures. Price breaks this low. It comes back. Here is your entry. Here's your entry. When you have these areas on the higher time frame, guys, go down to the smaller time frame and look and narrow down those areas. So if you were paying attention to that previous high, a previous week's high, if you were paying attention to that, right, what you would notice is that when price broke that previous week's high and we anticipated price to go lower, this is where you can get your entry at the top. At the top, right? So after price breaks the structure, retest, goes down, pay attention to the bullish areas. We're not expecting price to go up above that sweep, but you want to pay attention. So if you sold as price came into this area, if you sold, your TP should have been right here. I don't want you to mark these areas just so that you can take an entry back up. I simply want you to be aware that price may retrace in these particular areas. So price does retrace. It should be respecting this bearish area, but it will probably go above your entry. So here it is, the sweep within the OB. It's not going to happen all the time. And after it does that, it comes in here, right? We want to see it break structure. We want to see a close of the body beneath the previous low. Let's take this off because we're done with that. Here is the body. And as you can see, price definitely does close beneath that low. We got a retest here. Here's that imbalance. Here's the area. It retests. This is another entry for you. Could have targeted this candle right here. Here's another entry for you. And we're going to mark that red for bearish. After price comes down, create some more lows. What it does is it comes back into this area right here, create some supply, but something happens, guys. Something happens. When we fail to continue to break structure to the downside, such as this, or when you see price hanging around in a particular area, or these wicks in one particular area, guys, price is about to reverse on you, right? Look at this. Let's check this out. Price comes in this particular area. This is a warning that if you are selling and you don't want to get back your profits, you should probably take partials or you should take full profit. So pay attention. Pay attention to this, guys. Pay attention. Not only that, guys, when you see price start to leave an entry to go higher, very interesting. Can you trade this retracement? You absolutely can. But guys, what you want to do is you want to exit at a bearish area such as this, even though it was short-lived and it came a little bit higher, back up in this area right here. You can see that there's supply. So like I said, guys, pay attention to the wicks. Pay attention to where price is in one particular area. 1, 2, 3. Pay attention to these areas. Pay close attention. So as you can see, price creates a little demand. It's like, okay, price came in here and it just rejected. Okay, now we have this area. Okay, but price lands back in this area and we failed to close beneath this wick here. We failed to sweep out this low. We're landing in the same exact area. This is a warning sign that you should take partials or profit, right? Price comes up, it climbs up. I would expect it to come in this bearish OB here simply because we have this imbalanced candle. It does come into this area and it respects it just a little. However, if we're not paying attention, there's supply right above that area. After this, price is not going to keep letting you in, but we do have a few more entries as we go into Wednesday. So that's Monday and Tuesday. We break structure. This is the institutional candle that broke structure. We have yet another entry on Wednesday. We get that entry, price goes down lower and lower and lower. What are you targeting, guys? You are targeting lows on the higher time frame. On the higher time frame is where you are targeting the lows, right? So here's the week. Entry, 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 entry. What are you targeting? The lows. This low could be a target for you. As you can see, price comes down into this low. Now we're on the higher time frame because this is where we started to get some consolidation. We consolidated for a little bit on Thursday. Price went down, showing us that it's going lower, of course, right? But it comes up, sweeps out this consolidation area. That is also manipulation. It's getting traders to go higher. Now, why would a trader want to go higher? Guys, pay attention to all of this imbalance that we left at the top here. This would make a trader feel as though we're going higher to go for the imbalance, right? But check this out, guys. When price has an intention, it's going to focus on that intention no matter what. So we sweep out these highs here at this consolidated part of the chart. Price comes up, gets traders to want to go long. After going up, it creates this bearish, big, impulsive candle. Excuse me. And this becomes my new area of interest. I'm expecting price to respect this area. Price climbs right back up into this area like a magnet. Creates this bullish looking candle, but it ends out just like this as you see it. And then it travels a little bit of consolidation, guys. And this is your entry. This is a good entry. This happened during London session, actually. Excuse me, this happened during Asia session. And then it just drops down, guys. You are targeting this low. At the end of Friday, guys, we start climbing back up because we left behind something. Now, this is really interesting because now I'm on the 4-hour time frame. I'm going to take this off because this has already happened. On the 4-hour time frame, I noticed a few things. Now, we have some internal areas, but what I noticed is that this is a perfect area to enter for price. Of course, guys, I'm going to take this area with caution because we do still have some areas on a higher time frame. So I'm going to take this area with caution. Now, on this 4-hour time frame, I want to measure my swing high and my swing low. Of course, we have a new weekly high and a weekly low, which would be, right, here's the new previous week's high, and here is the new previous week's low. It is higher than the previous week, and I'm looking at it on this 4-hour time frame, so that way I'm monitoring price. What I'm doing is I'm monitoring price, right? Of course, where I stand at this moment, I'm looking for price to take out the previous week's low. Obviously, guys, we are low in the chart. I want to get this over with. I want price to come down, take out the previous week's low, because this is going to be 2 weeks now as we go into the new week, right? I want price to come take out this low. Also, this one, tap into this bullish OP, right? And then head up to the previous week's high. This is what I'm looking for. But if price decides that I want to retrace a little bit higher into premium, then I'm okay with that. I'm going to take it one step at a time. On this 4-hour time frame, as you can see, guys, premium is located in this area. Premium is located in this area. So I'm like, okay, price has been traveling up Friday quite a bit. And I'm like, okay, are we going to respect this area on the 4-hour time frame, even though it's not premium? Or are we going to come up and take out these highs and possibly tap into this area? It is not far from where it is currently, and I'm like, okay, are we gonna do that? I'm gonna watch out for it. This is the area that I'm looking at. It is in premium. It is above this area of imbalance. This is what we left behind, and we do have some highs there as well. So if price is looking to do that, it is looking to continue to shake people around and manipulate people, get people into selling and discount. I did want to get it over with, but guys, I have to pay attention to what's internal. So we do have highs right above this area, and this is a very interesting area to me, based on the fact that we did leave behind some imbalance. So it wouldn't be like strange for price to actually take that area out, tap into, this area. It is in premium, and then come down. This would be better for us actually if price did that, because we get to sell at a higher place and make more money, and then we take out the previous week's low, tap into the area, and then go for the previous week's high. But of course, guys, I'm going to allow price to develop and watch it on the 1-minute time frame when it does come into this area. If it decides to go past this area, this would be my next area of interest. So very interesting for US30. NAS 100. Let's take a look at NAS 100. The opportunities were absolutely bullish, as you can see, guys. This was where I caught price to go up. Price did jump back into this area right here. It was on a weekly time frame actually, where price came back into this area. Was it on the weekly or was it on the month? Oh, right here, sorry. This is where we had broke structure. This was the break of structure candle. Price tapped back into this area and there was the buy ever since. So what our opportunities were, let's take a look here. We had the previous week's low and then we have the previous week's high. Now, NAS 100 has its own agenda, different from US 30. And you want to pay close attention to NAS. NAS could be really, really, really tricky because it does its own thing. So here we have breaks of structure to the downside and we break up to the upside. So that can be really confusing. But once we break, you want to follow the last break. Once we break to the upside and then we come down and kind of retest, we'll notice that price had created demand, right? So as we go into the new week, guys, we can see that price had created some demand right here. So here's Monday, that demand. And the first thing that I would notice is that outside of that demand zone, price has broken structure to the upside. Here's that break of structure candle. This candle would be your order block candle right here. What I would be looking for is for price to come into this area. And being as though NAS has been super bullish, I probably would have held as price continued up, moving my stop loss really close just to make sure that I do get some type of, get the maximum profit that I can get. So as you can see, price taps back into this area right here. That was the area of interest. And that just completely takes off. Really, really bullish all week long. And that was a good, that was like amazing. NAS continued to be bullish. And that's where we stopped with NAS. It still continued to break structure to the upside. Here was an area of interest right over here. And I'm gonna open that up for you. This was the final area of interest and it was on Friday. Okay, so price had, here would be your area of interest right here. Prior to price coming back down, this would have all been imbalance. So this would have been your area of interest. Price would have came really close to this area, but not quite. And so what you want to do is allow price to actually come into the area. And then you could have continued to take NAS 100 up. And that was a Friday move. And this was for, let's see if we got in right here at the top. That last move was for 123 points. So NAS, if you're going to be trading NAS, understand that sometimes, a lot of times it does not come down into these areas of interest. You have to catch it. Sometimes you have to catch it on the 5-minute time frame. I noticed that NAS 100 is very 5-minute time frame friendly. And those were the setups, guys. We're gonna go over the news, the upcoming news. So here is for Monday. Of course, we have 8:30 news, and we're doing pretty good for the summer, guys. We're in June, but we're doing pretty good. We have 8:30 news yet again on Tuesday. So that's Monday, Tuesday, 8:30 news for USD. We don't have anything for Wednesday, except if you are trading NZD or GBP. Want to pay attention to those. If you're trading GBP, you want to pay attention to that. And we do have unemployment claims on Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Lots of opportunities for 8:30 a.m. EST, which is 7:30 a.m. And a lot of you guys as time zones. So definitely pay attention to that. And as we end the week for Friday, guys, if you're trading Euro USD, you want to pay attention to London session. If you're trading GBP, you want to pay attention to London session. And if you're trading USD, guys, we have PMI. This ends the week, the news weeks. It was NFP. We had a PPI, CPI, and we end that with PMI, and that's at 9:45 a.m. EST. So guys, best of luck this week. Trade with caution, pay attention, be vigilant, be alert, use proper lot sizes, use stop losses, and best of luck, guys.